Hi friends, welcome back. Today we are going to solve Codeforces problem curriculum Vishay. So before we start looking into the problem details, some examples and the Java solution for the curriculum Vishay problem, I want to mention that my channel is dedicated to help people who are preparing for any Java interviews and coding interviews. If you are preparing for any Java J2 interviews, telephonic interviews or coding interviews, this channel can definitely be helpful in your job interview preparation. You will find a lot of helpful videos on my channel that can help you in your coding interviews as well as Java interviews. You will find more than 200 solved different varieties of coding problems on my channel that were taken from previously asked interview questions by Amazon, Apple, Facebook, Google, Microsoft, Yahoo and many other big tech companies. And those constitute important coding questions varieties such as DFS, BFS, matrix problems, binary search tree problems, graph problems, binary search related coding interview questions, dynamic programming related questions, as well as optimization problems and coding interview questions related to linked list and strings are also covered. So please subscribe to the channel. So let's go through the problem statement first. So Hideo Kojima has just quit his job at Konami. Now he is going to find a new place to work. Despite being such a well-known person, he still needs CV to apply for a job. During all his career, Hideo has produced N games. Some of them were successful and some were not. Hideo wants to remove several of them, possibly zero, from his CV to make a better impression on employers. As a result, there should be no unsuccessful game which comes right after successful one in CV. More formally, you are given the array of zeros and ones. 0 corresponds to unsuccessful game and 1 corresponds to successful game. Games are given in order they were produced and Hideo cannot swap these values. He should remove some elements from this array such that no 0 comes right after 1. So besides that, Hideo still wants to mention as much games in the CV as possible. Help this genius of a man determine the maximum number of games he can leave in his CV. So basically, Hideo is a kind of a programmer. He produced some games and some became successful and some became failure. So zero is a success, zero is a failure, and one is success, right? So one other condition is, so in our input they have given us n, which is number of games he produced, and this is the order. So one is a successful game here, as you can see. One is successful game and zero means it is a failure game basically, right? So what we have to do is we have to find out maximum number of games, and there is a condition that, like, let's see, like, where that condition is here. uh, So games are given in the order they are produced, and we cannot swap the values of this array, right? And we have to only remove some elements from the array, such that no zeros comes after one basically, right? So this is very important. So no zeros should come after one, right? So if you look at this first example, let's go to the whiteboard and take this example. So let's take this example quickly so I can explain you here. So four games are given and the games are given like this, right? 1 1 0 1, right? So we have to maximize the games we can put it into the CV, right? So what the condition is that um, there should not be any zero after one, right? So if we are putting any one, then there cannot be zero after one basically, right? So for example, let's say the maximum games we can put in this case is this one we can put, this one we can put, and we will delete this zero and we can put this one, right? So it means that three games we can put total, right, in the CV, so that no zeros will come after one, right? So 0 will not be coming after 1. So as you can see, the answer is 3 here, right? So this is what the problem is. So we have to maximize number of games that we can put in CV, and the condition is that no 0 should come after 1, right? So that is the most important part here. in such a way that no 0 comes right after 1. So let's take the bigger example on the whiteboard, and we will understand more the other example, and then we'll formulate our solution. So these are the 6 games that are given to us, and we have to find out the maximum number of games Hideo can put in his CV, right? So the condition is that there should not be any 0 after 1, right? So that is the condition, right? So first we will just go through this visually, and then we will see, and then we will formulate the algorithm, right, to solve this problem. So as you can see, one way that Hideo can put the games in his CV is he can put this 0, then he can put this 0, then this 0 and this 1, right? This is one combination that he can put, right? So these are 4 games now he can put, and there is no 0 coming after 1, right? So this is 0 0 0 1, so this is acceptable. So other solution that Hideo can go with is he can put all zeros here, right? All zeros, so 0 0 0 and this 0, so 0 0 0 0, so there is no 0 coming after 1. These are all zeros basically, right? 4 zeros. So maximum number of games he can put is 4, right? These are the two combinations I shown you. So anything he can put in these two combinations, so you can see the output is 4. So we are just like looking at the array, and we are just solving this visually, right? So let's now think about how we can solve this using some algorithm, right? So this is the array that is given to us. So let's, how we can solve this problem is, we will go from the starting position, right, until the ending position, and we will put one position here, one extra position, right? We will just go until this point, one extra position will be there. So we'll start with this position, first position, right? So we are here, so we will check how many number of zeros on the left side, right? We will check how many number of zeros on the left side. So here you can see 0, right? There are 0 zeros on the left side. And how many number of ones are on the right side, we will check. So 1 and 2, right? 1 and 2. So we have 2 ones on the right side and 1 and 0 zeros on the left side basically, right? So we will calculate, like we will make a total of these two, right? And we will always maintain one variable called as, let's say, maximum. Let's just call this variable as, let's say, max, right? So we will always, it is first 0, so when we will just add zeros and ones, and we will capture the maximum, and we will just update the max value to 2 here. So after that, we will move to the next position, right? So next position is this position. So this position again we will check how many zeros are on the left side. So there is 1 0, right, on the left side. So as you can see, there is 1 0 on the left side, and how many ones are there on the right side we will check, right, including this position. So including this position, there are 2 ones, right? So we will have 2 ones. So let's just say 2 ones and 1 0 on the left side, right? So total we will get 3, right? So total we will get 3. So it is more than the max, so we will update our max to 3, right? And why this one works actually is because, as you can see, we have 0 1 and 1, right? So we can make like this 0 1 1 combination, right? This is a acceptable games that he can put, right? Because there is no 0 coming after 1, so this is acceptable combination. So we are actually, what we are doing is we are going each index, and we are finding one acceptable combination for that index basically, right? So so we are here now. So now we will go to the next position, right? So next position is this one. So again we will find out how many zeros are on the left side. So there is only 1 0 here, so here, right, 1 0, and how many ones are on the right side, including that index, right? Including this index, so only 1 1 is there on the right side. So we'll just have 1 1 here. So we will just add these two values. So 1 plus 1 is equal to 2, right? So 2. So here we will not update our max because the 2 is less than the max value. So we will just move forward and we will go to the next index. So our next index is this one. So again we will check how many zeros are there on the left side of this one. So 1 and 2, right? 1 and 2. So two zeros are there on the left side, and how many ones are there on the right side? So there is only one on the right side. So we will make a total of these two, which is equal to 3. So here also we don't update the max value because it is same. So this 3 is same as 3, so we will not update the max value, and we will go to the next index. So the next index is this one. So in this next index, again we have to check how many zeros are there on the left side. So 1 2 3 zeros are there on the left side, and how many ones are there on the right side, right? So including that index, right? Including that index, there is 1 So as you can see, 1 is there. So total we will calculate. So total is 4. So we will update our max to 4 because 4 is more than 3. So now we are finding this is a maximum combination, right? So why it is maximum? So let's just write down this 0 0 0, because left side zeros will be 3 zeros, as you can see, and this one, right? This one we will count this one because we are counting one including that index. So as you can see, he can put 0 0 0 1 into his CV, right? So this is an acceptable combination because there is no 0 after 1. You can put 0 before 1, right? So this is kind of giving us one of the maximum combination of 4. So we are going to go forward with the next one. So next position is this one, right? So this is the next position here. So we have to find out how many zeros are there on the left side. So 1 2 3 zeros you will find on the left side. So here, right, 3 zeros are there on the left side, and we have to find out how many ones are there on the right side including this index. So there is no one, right? So 0 ones basically. So this total will be just 3, right? So just 3. So we will not update the max because max is already more than 3. So now, as I said, we will be having one additional position here. So this additional position is here, right? So this, why we are keeping this additional position? Because we want to make sure that we are taking a look at all the values on the left side for this additional position, right? So we will check all the values on the left side now, because the right side we cannot check, nothing is there basically. On the left side we will check how many zeros are there. So 0 1 2 0 sorry 1 2 3 4. So 4 zeros are there for the last position, and the right side ones will be 0 basically, right? So total if we calculate, 4 plus 0 is 4. So maximum is 4 already, right? So we will not update the maximum because it's already 4. So this is another combination that we are finding here. So let's just write that combination here. So the last combination we find, which is equivalent to this one, right? Both have same length of 4 basically, right? Same length of 4. The last one is 0 0 0 0, right? So this is also acceptable because he can put these maximum 4 games, because here also there is no 0 coming after 1, right? So he is allowed to put all zeros basically. So this is how actually, if you see, this is the logic to solve the problem. So 4 is the maximum games he can put into his CV basically, right? So using this approach. So what we did is we just went through starting position until the end position, right? Until n basically, right? N means this extra position will be covered in that, and we will always keep checking the number of zeros on the left side and number of ones on the right side of the current position, right? Including that position, and then we will add the total sum of those two values, right? Zeros and ones. We will add this sum, and then we will know the length of the acceptable games he can put into his curriculum vitae, and we will keep track of the maximum length that he can achieve that is acceptable in the CV, right? So let's just go ahead and take a look at the Java code for this one. So as you can see, this is the n is 6, and these are the values of the games which are given to us. This is the same example that we took here. So we will create two variables, one is answer and one is result, and we will just go through 0 to n, right? So we are going to I is less than equal to n, right? So it will cover that extra spot that we want to cover, right, at the end. Like after 0 we still wanted to cover for that extra one, right? So that one is covered here already. One thing is, first thing is we are doing is checking on the left side, checking zeros on the left side, right? Zeros on the left side of the current position. So this is what we are doing here. So we are going from z is equal to 0 till I, and we are checking if it is 0, then we will just increment our answer, right? Answer is 0 in the beginning. So after that we will be checking once on the right side of the current position, right? Including current position. So we will also include current position when we are counting once, right? So this is what we are doing here. So as you can see, we will start at I, j is starting at I, and j is going until less than n, right? So it will go all the way until n, and it will calculate number of ones that we are finding, and it will increase the answer basically, right? So it means that at the end we will have the answer which includes left side zeros plus right side ones, right? And we will always keep comparing it with the result. So we wanted to have the maximum, so we just took one variable result, and we will always keep capturing the maximum value in the result, and we will just reinitialize the answer variable to 0 here. So in the next for loop iteration, again it will start from 0 basically, right? So it will loop through all the array, and it will keep checking like the um, the left side zeros, and this total of left side zeros and right side ones, and it will go through each of these position until the end, and it will keep updating the result whenever it finds the maximum value which is more than the current result, right? So and at the end we are just printing the result here. So let's just go ahead and execute this example code quickly. So as you can see, we are getting correct result here, which is 4. So 4 is the result we are getting, which is correct. So let's try another example. This 4 example we can try. This is the first test case that they have given us. So we'll just try that out as well. So we are getting 3 as our answer. Let's just make sure. So we are getting the 3, which is correct answer. So this is the way we can solve the Codeforces problem curriculum vitae. I think I already explained you in detail with this example how we develop the logic and algorithm to solve this problem, including we always keep checking values on the left side zeros, and right side ones, including that index, and we'll keep track of the maximum value that we have seen. If you are new to my channel, there is a dedicated playlist on my channel for Codeforces problems. It has a lot of solved Codeforces coding examples explained with Java code and whiteboarding sessions. There is another big playlist on my channel called as Lead Code and Lean Code Solutions. It has a lot of solved coding varieties of problems such as graph problems, binary search tree, binary search related coding questions, BFS, DFS matrix questions, string related questions, linked list related coding questions, dynamic programming questions. So these all these varieties you will find there, and those questions are previously asked by Google, Facebook, Microsoft, Yahoo, Amazon, Apple, and many other big tech companies. So they are very important from coding interview preparation perspective. If you like this video, if you find it helpful, and if you like the way it's created with whiteboarding session and examples, please give it a like. Also subscribe to the channel. Your subscription to the channel is really important for the channel, because that is the way the videos can reach to more people who need help in solving coding problems. Main goal of the channel is to help as many people as possible in solving their coding problems and in their preparation for coding problems and Java interviews. So they can also see these solved problems videos and develop the logic by looking at different varieties, and they can also understand how to apply and which data structures to apply for different varieties of Java problems. So if you find this video, if you like this video, then please give it a like, share this video with your friends and colleagues. If you have any questions regarding this video, please put your questions below the description section. I'm going to share the code and the Java solution in my GitHub account and give you the link in the description. Please check it out. It has a lot of solved different Java coding problems. You will find it in my GitHub account. So please check it out, and thanks for watching this video.